I'm Dr. Amy Urshan, and this is Inside Addiction.
So, Dr. Urshan, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, Dean, I've got a small psychiatric practice that I've been running for 5 years in Clifton Park, right off exit 10. It's a very small practice. It was always my dream to have my own practice, and it's been quite an adventure over the last several years. I've enjoyed it.
What got you interested in working with recovering addicts and helping addicted people improve their quality of life and enter a life of recovery?
Prevalence of need in the community, primarily. There is a huge epidemic of people who are suffering from addictive disorders, especially among the younger people, with lots of fatal consequences, unfortunately. The opiate addiction is quite unfortunately prevalent in our community. There's a need, and I became aware of that need just on the basis of people calling my small practice and asking for help with that.
And what exactly is a holistic approach towards addiction treatment and recovery?
Just exactly what it sounds like, a whole health approach to the person who is suffering, meaning dealing not only with physical and the medical aspect of that person's life, but also spiritual, emotional, relational, occupational, the whole picture of what goes into making that person's life either stressful or something that's supportive of their recovery and their health.
And what are some of the differences between a traditional versus a non-traditional approach to addiction treatment that your practice offers? What's the difference between a traditional as opposed to non-traditional treatment?
Well, first I'd like to say that we employ both traditional and non-traditional modalities, traditional being medication management and traditional forms of counseling and psychotherapy. And those are directed at symptom management, immediate relief from symptoms. And non-traditional approaches take a more holistic and a broader view of the individual's life. Things like yoga, meditation, relaxation strategies, acupuncture, which has been great, lots of different other approaches that are aimed at different ways of helping people to envision their lives from a positive, healthy point of view, and then think about how they can put together a life that's going to support their recovery.
So you offer several different unique services, such as not only individual but family and group therapy. Tell us a little bit about each of the three, starting with individual therapy, then going into the family and group therapy that's available through your practice.
Individual therapy is, of course, geared toward helping an individual in a one-to-one setting deal with a therapist about their individual issues and nobody else's. So it's a very intimate one-to-one. However, that approach to individual therapy can be quite varied. We have a social worker who is also a yoga teacher who utilizes many of the philosophies of yoga and the experiential exposure to yoga to help people find their center and learn how to be in their body. People who are addicted have spent a lot of time and money getting out of their body, out of their normal state of consciousness, and to have specific assistance in becoming comfortable in their own body again is a huge part of that individual mode of counseling and therapy, both talk therapy and yoga. There are other approaches and other individual slants to individual therapy that we have in our practice. So we have we're interested in peer counseling, which is really who better to help addicts than somebody who's been through the process and is in recovery themselves to help other people branch out into the community, create a support network, and so that's a newer idea on the addiction front that we're very interested in. And so we do employ people who are recovery coaches.
How about family therapy sessions?
We think that the family is a very important part of a person's recovery, and the family should be involved. A person doesn't recover in isolation, and the family needs to be educated and help to understand how they can help, and also how they themselves have been affected by the person's illness.